We have new information right now at 11 o'clock. Multiple sources tell the New York Times that the Black Hawk helicopter was at least a half-mile off the approved route at the time of the crash.
Those sources would go on to add the helicopter was flying above 300 feet when it's only approved to fly below 200 feet. This tragedy is having widespread impact tonight. 6 of the victims have local ties to a skating club in Norwood. Here are their photos.
And tonight, the flag at the Skating Club of Boston in Norwood flies at half-staff. That's where the 6 local victims taught, practiced their craft, and supported their loved ones. Their families left to wonder what happened in Washington, D.C. 26 hours ago. As we take a live look at the crash site tonight next to Reagan National Airport. Here are the big headlines at this hour. Both black boxes have been recovered from the airplane at the crash site. D.C. Fire says divers have searched all accessible areas of the crash site. Recovery operations, they've ended for the night. And once again, multiple sources tell the New York Times that the Black Hawk helicopter was at least a half-mile off the approved route at the time of the crash. It was also flying well above its allowed height. On scene for us is reporter Brian Abel.
American Airlines says Flight 5342 from Wichita, operated by PSA, was on approach to land at Reagan National Airport when it and an Army Black Hawk helicopter from the 12th Aviation Battalion, similar to this one, collided in flight.
It was a fairly experienced crew, and it was doing a required annual night evaluation. They did have night vision goggles.
There was not a breakdown in communication between the military helicopter and American Airlines flight. There was communication between the aircraft and the tower.
Among the PSA jet's passengers, several athletes, coaches, and family members returning from a development camp with U.S. figure skating. In a statement, the governing body said it is devastated by this unspeakable tragedy. At the White House, President Donald Trump addressing the tragedy.
As one nation, we grieve for every precious soul that has been taken.
But he also pointed fingers.
I put safety first. Obama, Biden, and the Democrats put policy first. The FAA's diversity and inclusion hiring plan, which says diversity is integral to achieving FAA's mission of ensuring safe and efficient travel. I don't think so.
When asked for evidence why DEI could be a factor.
Because I have common sense, okay?
This morning, the president appointed a former senior aviation official as the FAA's acting administrator. That role, among others at the agency, were left empty following resignations ahead of Trump taking office.
Former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is pushing back on President Trump's comments, calling them inaccurate and despicable. Meanwhile, it is unclear which of the black boxes have been recovered. The next of kin process still underway because at least some of the passengers are from overseas. In Arlington, I'm Brian Abel reporting.